Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for your interest to come and see our talk about Lacuna Space. My name is Jon Pearce. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for Lacuna. It's been 5 years since I've stood on this stage. In the past, I was product manager for modules and silicon, and I've built networks around the world. But now I am working in the most exciting company within the ecosystem. I mean, what could be more exciting than sending LoRa direct to space? So what does Lacuna offer? Primarily, our business is the connectivity, global connectivity of LoRaWAN devices backhauled via satellite. We're offering a service which gives you at least 2 contacts a day, and we'll get data from your device, from your sensors, back into your cloud within 24 hours of taking that data on the ground. And we are also manufacturing sensors, which we will show you, which are open sourced. So what is the problem we're trying to solve here? So LoRaWAN, of course, is extremely successful within smart cities where there is good terrestrial coverage and a density of devices. And it's totally appropriate to use terrestrial in these cases, but every network has a limit, has an edge, where it starts to become less and less economical to grow the network. And so, naturally, there are use cases which are left outside of this terrestrial coverage. And I'm sure if we canvassed opinion, does everyone have all the coverage you need for all of your networks? I think the answer is typically no. So we are trying to address these untapped use cases by providing connectivity to those out-of-reach devices. And the important point is we're not trying to displace these terrestrial networks. We're not trying to influence your choice of network server or remove gateways. Where you have those investments, you should absolutely keep with them. What Lacuna is doing is adding to this system. So we have our constellation of satellites which can collect data from the devices on the ground and backhaul them and add them into your existing infrastructure. So here we are at the Things conference, so naturally the preferred route to get our data into the Things industry, the Things stack, is via packet broker. But with other network server vendors, with Actility and Laureate and so on, we can use back-end interfaces and roaming hubs to do the same. As the diagram shows, Lacuna is in the business of building and launching and operating our own satellites. But as we'll progress through the slides, you'll see we also have the capability to deploy our technology on other people's satellites as well, which is quite an exciting addition. So it's a 24-hour network, as we said in a prior slide. So these sensors operate in a store and forward mode of operation. So the device on the ground should stick to the requirements of its application. It should take its data on whatever schedule is appropriate for the application. And we decouple that from the satellite connections by putting that data into buffers in a store and forward mode. And then we will pick it up and bring it back to the cloud. And we guarantee we'll do this within 24 hours. Sometimes it's much better. Sometimes it's real-time, 0 hours. Typically, we achieve at least 2 contacts a day. Here at the conference, we're enjoying 4 contacts a day, but it changes day to day depending on antenna performance and weather and so on. So you should have in mind the guarantee we're offering is to get your data to the cloud within 24 hours. Now, you may ask, so which applications can use this kind of network, with this latency? I enjoy this quote because it's public. It's on Yorkshire Water's website. It's their description in their data policy about what data they gather and how they deliver it. And the description perfectly matches what we're proposing. The meter will log and flow data on an hourly basis, and it brings this data retrospectively between 4 and 24 hours. So what they are asking for is exactly what we're proposing to give. So it's a very suitable use case. And we're going to look now at a few other examples. So agriculture is a big use case for Lacuna. Naturally, it's remote, it's far away from existing infrastructure. A very classic use case is soil sensing. I think in the natural agricultural environment, you can understand moisture content and soil condition, temperature, so that you can precisely irrigate and fertilize the land and do that in the most efficient way. But there are also other uses of the data, such as carbon sequestration, carbon capture, if you leave the land fallow. And by using these sensors, you can document the process that the land is earning carbon credits. And to take that to the next level, a company, Plantee, is doing this in wetlands, where the wetlands are a real good sink of carbon, but they require the correct level of moisture for the microorganisms to survive. And so Plantee is monitoring this in peatlands and wetlands, but one step further, they're using the energy in the soil to power the sensor. So this is evidence about how low power these devices can be. They can live off the energy in the soil and energy harvest from this. Remote infrastructure, by its nature, is remote. You build solar farms and wind farms away from the population, and naturally that means you're away from connectivity. Within solar farms, there are many stakeholders. One company may provide the physical infrastructure, the steelwork. Another company, the solar panels and inverters. The utility takes the energy away. So even if a network exists on the solar farm, these companies might be reluctant to share the infrastructure because of security concerns. And so having a side channel for those stakeholders to monitor their assets is very useful, and we have customers working in this area to use satellite just to monitor this infrastructure. Similarly, with wind turbines, monitoring the footings, the concrete footings, that's a major failure mode of wind turbines. And tank level monitoring, again, there's a multitude of use cases within this category. In fact, tank level monitoring was one of the first use cases in the LoRa Alliance with Enatrac in America, way back, monitoring propane tanks and optimizing the delivery of propane to domestic tanks. But in this example, we're looking at freshwater storage for rural communities on remote islands. So in this scenario, they harvest rainwater and they store it, and it is life critical, of course. If there's a drought and they can't fulfill the tanks, they're in trouble. And the response time for the government, if the tanks are running empty, to send a ship to these islands to replenish fresh water is at best 8 days and can be up to 6 weeks. So again, within this response time environment, you can imagine a 24-hour network is more than enough to keep them satisfied. And then another partner of ours who is exhibiting here today is Ench, working, in this case, this is a banana plant. And we have similar companies doing durian plants, palm oil plants, and other forestry environments. Again, this is a soil moisture probe. And for a little bit of fun, for those of you who've been around this ecosystem for a while, you may recognize this character. This is Lauren Slats from IoT Stars, who previously was a community manager for the Things Industries. He's taking time out traveling across South America. In this picture, I believe he's in Peru, moving towards Chile over the next few weeks. And we're tracking him real time on a map there. So that's a fun example, but there are real use cases behind this. I think APIC did a very exciting demonstration earlier on about recovery of extreme sports, and other companies like RestroTracker recovering assets. So how to get started with Lacuna Space? So step one is our starter kit, our quick start kit, the LS300. This is a certified device. In fact, I have one here. This is our starting point for all engagements. So it's certified, it's a generic sensor, direct sensor to satellite. It includes Lacuna's soft modem, so this is the platform which we develop on, and it's the most suitable platform to support our users. And we have a user forum. There's connectivity included in this, so if you take a starter kit, it's everything you need to go out and test in the field. And so it's ideal for trials, proof of concepts, But being a certified product, it's actually also suitable for small-scale deployments, which is how people typically use this. And it's certified for Europe, America, and a multitude of other regions through our partner Approve It. So how to scale up from this device to an optimized solution, and we'll talk through these bullet points on the next slide. So the first option is to take our reference and to evolve this and add to it and build it into your own sensor. So of course, we've proven the RF section, we've shown it can be certified and it's valid. We have the software libraries, the LSM modem, and we have the Lacuna Path Predictor, which is what coordinates the device with the satellites and tells it when to transmit its messages. And the reason I'm really championing this particular solution is, for me, it's the perfect example. So we met Grin here at the show this time last year. We talked to them, we invited them to our workshop, we gave them the developer kit. They went away, tested, presumably enjoyed what they found, and then developed into their own product and brought it back to the show this year. So this is, for me, the perfect example of how we want to move forward with all our partners, and we'd encourage everyone here to do the same. Hopefully we'll have 20 of these next year. This is, by the way, quite a versatile multi-sensor. It has a multitude of sensors, but primarily a radar sensor for tank level monitoring and other things. We could do white labeling, so another partner of ours, Space Tech, has taken our design and migrated it into their own manufacturing flow. So they are now building devices independently of Lacuna. We have no involvement in this, and it's done at their cost, their lowest cost, so it's as optimal as it can be. And what's new and exciting right now is using the LS300 as a relay. So this is a new feature. Well, we did demonstrate it about 18 months ago at a previous conference. It's been in R&D, and now we're just unfolding and productizing this, and we've been using this event to engage with partners to get ready for testing the relay function. We can bring data into the relay using LoRaWAN, or wired interfaces, or other interfaces like Bluetooth. Now, the exciting thing with this is the 100 or so devices you see on the Wall of Fame can now all connect to satellite through a relay. So it's an excellent way to bring those devices into these use cases in remote scenarios. And then the final one I would mention is using off-the-shelf modules, mass market interoperability. And we've done a workshop here yesterday using Murata modules, Murata kits and Murata stacks, and connecting those to Lacuna satellites, really just with the addition of the purple circle in this picture is the antenna. So people ask, where do we have coverage? It is truly global as a system. We have coverage all across the world. I should have colored the seas and the oceans purple also, but you wouldn't have seen much on the map. But you can see we're unfolding with various stages of engagement in the countries, and we're seeking partners in other countries to lead us there. So if you're those partners, please come and talk to us. And our constellation is constantly growing. So we've launched more satellites since the event last year, and we've hit this milestone of a 24-hour network. We are fully funded for the next batch of satellites, which are now contracted and in process to come online within the next year. We're also funded for the next batch of satellites, but they'll be deployed based on capacity loading of the network. Another topic we've talked about is the ability to put our technology onto other people's constellations, and we have done this with Omnispace, and we've demonstrated it here in Amsterdam these last 2 days. And then finally, just an invitation to all the other satellite companies. We are an open, collaborative company. Our technology is leading. We have the highest capacity gateways, and we are willing to put those onto other people's constellations, as we have done with Omnispace, and as we have recently done with OneWeb, we are flying a demonstrator with them. And so I'll finish with an invitation that please come and talk to us. We are open to this, and we'd like to engage other satellite companies. So finally, I'll just finish with a big thank you to all of our partners who've worked through the early years with us and got to this commercial stage. and we would invite everyone else to come and join this list next year. Thank you.